my name is Tran, and I'm based in Los Angeles, California. I am social impact storyteller, a disability and neurodiversity inclusion uh, advocate, strategist, and cultural consultant. I think is a complicated question because I think I grew up like culturally, there's a lot of stigma, especially in the uh, Asian American community. There's like a lot of stigma. There's like shame and guilt that comes with it. So of course, like I grew up like I guess like when I was diagnosed with glaucoma at the age of 17, that was like my first introduction to disability. But to fully embrace it and to fully understood what it mean in its complexity was like when I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 10 years later at the age of 27. And so that's when I kind of like started to understand more about like what it means to be disabled, what it means to be neurodiverse and different in ways. And so to kind of like have that understanding myself. Grew up, as I mentioned, like with family with disability, so I kind of have understanding of like how my family navigate through the healthcare system and family relation dynamics, intergenerational trauma. So there's a lot of like nuances into that aspect of that layers, and I kind of witnessed how trauma plays a role into my family dynamic, but also how disability and mental health is viewed in our community and like our family dynamic as well. How like it's met with shame, guilt. It's like sinful. It's like there's it's not often embraced. So something that I kind of had that, and that's kind of pretty much shaped my experiences growing up, where I kind of noticed like how like oh, disability wasn't something to be proud of. Disability needs to hide, to avoid, to save face. And there's a lot of like layers into the minority myth and the culture of like oh like to kind of push through, to kind of like don't speak up, just keep things in the family, stay quiet, and just comply. We're not like a deficit. We're not like how the medical model described us to be, like how we're the problem. It's like kind of that is a lot of internalized ableism of ourselves and how negatively we view ourselves with it. And it's not just like we had a bad attitude, it's more like our approach was kind of like informed by society, how negative and stigma is that we're not worth it. Uh, And and so like when you kind of think about social model, it kind of help us empower us more to kind of think about like the world wasn't designed for someone like us and how much like we have to kind of navigate through that. And like because we can navigate through a world that wasn't designed for us, we kind of develop all these skill set, all these tools to try and navigate through this. But at the same time, it's like it's also it's also kind of built our resiliency, but resiliency out of necessity to that. But at the same time, being disabled means that we have like uh we we see the world very differently. We're innovative because we have to kind of navigate through the system that wasn't designed for us, but also find community and sense of belonging and other with others in the space have also kind of helped you kind of shift that mindset to feel more empowered about yourself, to be able to see like, hey, someone else in disability can do this. I can do this too, or like there's positive representation that exposes to people to different opportunity, different resources. But most importantly, once we reduce and lower the systemic barrier and cost for someone with disability, I think that will also kind of help improve their well-being, but also like to kind of help empower more and more. And all that's also kind of do shift their perspective and viewpoint of what it means to be disabled as well. Once I kind of like started understanding my neurodiversity, autism later in life, and then that kind of just led me to find community, find people like me, but also having positive representation that kind of helps shape my viewpoint, like Master Chef Christine Ha, who was like kind of first representation I noticed like that was flying, and Mimi's, who's also kind of like showcase a different way of living life with disability that I kind of like help kind of model that perspective for me